Residents, veterans and councillors alike all gathered in Salisbury's Guildhall Square to celebrate the victory over Japan. It was a service organised by the Royal British Legion, with the City Council supporting it. Reverend Kelvin Inglis from St Thomas's Church opened the celebration, followed by a speech given by Mayor John Walsh.
What has been happening today is that we've been remembering and commemorating the war in Southeast Asia, which took place between 1941 and 1945 against the Japanese Imperial Army, who, as many will know, invaded large parts of Southeast Asia, including Burma and Malaysia. And we've been remembering those British soldiers and the Commonwealth soldiers who fought out there against them and stopped them in their tracks.
Reverend Inglis and Councillor Walsh were joined by Aisha Nichol. Mrs Nichol is the widow of Captain David Nichol, who fought for the King's African Rifles in the Southeast Asia War. She told all the residents there watching some of her late husband's memories of the conflict. The Royal British Legion ended the ceremony by saying this was to be the last victory over Japan celebration in Salisbury, as there are very few veterans who remain. So Mayor Walsh says that it's vitally important we remember all those who gave their lives.
I think it's a good thing to remember people who have lost their lives in these sort of conflicts, because it reminds the rest of us that war is a terrible thing, and if we can possibly avoid it, we want to. That particular generation found themselves up against a very fierce enemy, the Japanese, and they had to take them on. And I think the conditions were appalling, the weather was very bad, the terrain was awful, they had very little equipment, they were at the bottom of the pile, the 14th Army as they were known, forgotten, and they certainly were. And so generally, I have great admiration for the men who fought there, including my father. So it means a lot to me.
The former president of the Salisbury branch of the British Legion, John Grigsby, was there to give a speech and thank everyone who has supported them over the years. That was followed by a couple of hymns and a rendition of the national anthem. It was a time to honour the lives of those who fell fighting for this country, but it was also a time to celebrate. A time to celebrate the winning of the war 74 years ago, and to celebrate the bravery of each and every soldier. For a military city like Salisbury, and with all the people that turned out to take part, this service was extra special.
The Wiltshire regiment were involved in Burma and fought there and lost many men in the process, but turned back the Japanese and have made our world a much better place. And certainly here in Salisbury, we remember that, and particularly because there's a lot of us veterans around. Well, it makes me feel very proud to be their mayor, and Salisbury is a marvellous place to be, and a thank you to all those who turned up today. Thank you.
This is to be the last VJ celebration taking place in Salisbury, but the legacy and the sacrifice made by all those who fell in the war lives on. Jack Deery, That's TV.